Welcome. If you've ever found yourself forced into stillness, if life have asked you to pause, to wait, to let go of your old pace and surrender into something slower, then this story is for the part of you that longs to remember that healing has its own rhythm. So go ahead and subscribe now, because every story here is not just something to listen to, but something that listens back. Now, take a breath, and as you exhale, we'll begin. His name was David, and not long ago, he was the kind of man who measured his worth by what he can do, by how much he can carry, by the quickness of his stride, by the way his arms lifted boxes, lumber, tools, memories without hesitation. But then came the surgery. A shoulder that had once carried too much for far too long finally demanded rest. And now the doctor's orders stretched before him 9 long months of healing. At first David thought, I'll get through this quickly. I'll push, I'll bounce back. But healing has a way of humbling us. It does not respond to force. It does not quicken when we clench our teeth. It does not bend the clock we keep on our nightstand. Instead, healing is like a seed beneath the soil, invisible at first, silent, patient, but alive, always alive. The first weeks were the hardest. He hated asking for help. He hated the quiet ache of being unable to do what once felt effortless. There were nights he stared at the ceiling, wondering if he would ever be himself again. But slowly, like the tender unfurling of spring, David began to notice something. Each small act of patience became a doorway. When he allowed himself to rest instead of push, he felt the tiniest thread of strength weaving its way back into him. When he breathed deeply instead of resenting his limits, he found that his body softened, his spirit eased. He remembered the words of an old friend, spoken long ago. Grace is not earned by perfection. Grace is what carries you when you can no longer carry yourself. And so, David began to practice, not lifting weights, not pushing through strain, but practicing grace with himself, with his body, with time. 9 months, it felt endless at first, but when he leaned into it, he saw it differently. 9 months is the time it takes for a child to be formed. 9 months is the length of a season of becoming. 9 months is not punishment. It is preparation. He began to treat his healing as a sacred season, a cocoon, a temple where strength was being rewoven, bone and tendon reknitting, patience becoming a new muscle he never thought he needed. Some days he'd whisper to his shoulder as if it was a friend. Take your time. I'm not rushing you anymore. Other days he closed his eyes and imagined the light of the sun pouring into the joint, warming it, mending it, teaching it to be whole again. And in this slowing, he discovered something unexpected. Life was not passing him by. It was waiting with him. Every sunrise, every meal shared with loved ones, every gentle step forward was still a part of life, and perhaps a deeper part that hurried days before. By the 3rd month, he noticed his patience has grown, not just with his shoulder, but with people. He listened more. He spoke with softness. He didn't rush his wife's stories at dinner. He didn't rush past his children's questions. It was as though the slowing of his body had opened the door in his heart. By the 6th month, he began to see his healing not as a limitation, but as a teacher. He realized that strength was not just measured in lifting or building, but in waiting, trusting, and honoring the process. And as the 9th month drew near, he felt something stir deep within him. Not just his shoulder returning to life, but his entire being reborn. Not the old David, but a new David, a man who knew the quiet power of grace, the steady rhythm of patience, and the slow bloom of healing. And so, perhaps there is a part of you too that is learning to wait with yourself, to trust your body, to let time do its mysterious work. Perhaps this story has reminded you that healing is not a race to the finish line, but a journey into gentleness. So now, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let your shoulders soften. Feel the weight you've been carrying slip just a little further away. And now, another breath. Slower this time. Letting out as if you're teaching your body what it means to rest. You've heard the story of David, and perhaps, in some way, it was about him, and another way, it was about you. Because deep inside, there is a part of you that knows how to heal, how to be patient, how to trust the slow unfolding. And as you listen now, you can begin to notice the rhythm of your breath, in and out, steady, gentle, like the tides moving toward the shore and back again. And with every breath, you may notice how the muscles around your shoulder, around your chest, around your heart soften, not forcing, not pushing, just softening. The way petals soften when they open. And you can imagine now a light forming at your shoulder. Perhaps it's golden, perhaps it's soft blue. Whatever feels right. And that light begins to pour warmth into the joint, through tendons, through ligaments, through bone. Every exhale carrying away old tension. Every inhale bringing in renewal. And the deeper you go, the more you realize healing isn't just something your body does. It's something your mind practices. Your heart remembers. Your spirit allows. And in this calm, you can imagine yourself walking each day, choosing one gentle thing to do that makes you better, stronger, more whole. Maybe one morning it's a quiet stretch, moving carefully, feeling your body thank you for the kindness. And another day it's journaling, writing a line or two, about what you've learned in stillness, about the patience being planted inside you. Some days it's simply gratitude, looking out the window and whispering, "Thank you," for the chance to heal, for the breath moving in and out, for this season of renewal. Each day, one small act, not to prove your worth, but to remind you, you are already worthy. And healing is not just what's happening in your shoulder, it's what's happening in the way you think, the way you feel, the way you live. So imagine yourself 9 months from now, looking back, seeing not just the healed shoulder, but the man you became along the way. Patient, steady, gracious with yourself. And as you see that version of yourself, let him send you a smile, a knowing nod, as if to say, "Keep going, you're already doing it." And now, take another slow breath in and out, anchoring this version into your body. And when you're ready, you can begin to rise from this trance, knowing that each day forward holds one small act of bettering yourself, one step toward wholeness. So here are the key meanings of the story. Number 1, healing is a season, not a sprint. The 9 months symbolizes more than recovery time. They echo new life, reminding us that healing is a process of becoming someone new, not just returning to who we were. Patience is not waiting idly. It is actively participating in the slow rhythm of renewal. Number 2, grace is the true medicine. David's journey shows that grace means releasing perfectionism, releasing timelines, and allowing yourself to be carried when you cannot carry yourself. Healing requires self-compassion, not self-criticism. The ability to forgive yourself for being slowed down is a part of the cure. Number 3, strength beyond muscles. True strength isn't measured in what we can lift or achieve. It is measured in our ability to pause, surrender, and trust. Emotional resilience, patience, and gentleness are just as important as physical rehabilitation. Number 4, small daily actions become transformation. Healing isn't only passive. It grows through small, intentional acts of self-betterment, stretching, journaling, gratitude, breathing. Each day offers a chance to choose one thing that nurtures the body, mind, or spirit, planting the seeds of a stronger, kinder self. Number 5, the body as a teacher. The shoulder injury symbolizes what happens when we carry too much. The body, when forced into stillness, becomes a teacher of patience, humility, and self-listening. Pain and limitations are not enemies, but messengers calling us back into alignment with our true peace. Number 6, rebirth through limitation. By the end of the 9 months, David is not just healed, he is transformed. Healing seasons don't only restore the body, they renew the self into something new, calmer, more present, more compassionate. And so, perhaps you too are being asked to slow down, to give yourself the patience you so freely give to others, to let grace carry you through the seasons of healing. Remember, healing isn't a race, it's a rebirth. And every small act of kindness you give yourself is already shaping the person you are becoming. If this story spoke to you, go ahead and subscribe now, because each story here is not just something you listen to, but something that listens back. And if you'd like a personalized hypnotic story written just for your journey, you can always reach out and find the words waiting for you. So until next time, be well.